What are some of the schema best practices that folks should take into consideration?
So the first one on there is just not to overuse schema. So schema should really be reserved for highlighting the primary element or purpose of the content on a web page. If you have too much schema, it can get kind of confusing. It may not be implemented correctly. There's a lot more risk that could happen there that could do more harm than good to your site. So the primary purpose or primary element schema could include, for a product page example, again, the price, delivery time, whether it's in stock or not. Those are all things that users will want to know before they click into the site, and search engines will want to know that this is emphasizing that this is a product page. Monitoring performance is another great one. So just making sure that after you've implemented schema, if you're looking at the impact on search visibility and click-through rate, you'll be able to see whether that schema is working or not. Making sure that you either understand schema structured data markup or schema markup, or have help from a web developer on there, just to make sure that it's implemented properly. And then leveraging different types of schema. So like we mentioned before, there's a lot of different types of schema that can be used. There's no one type fits all when it comes to schema. Each page is going to have a different markup than the next. A blog post is going to have different schema markup than a product page. So you'll want to have a great understanding of how to use those different types and how you can leverage those to your benefit on your site. And the last one is a pretty simple one, but just making sure that when you're writing schema markup, save it in some sort of a folder, whether it's a Word document or a Google Doc, something on your computer. It's the easiest way for you to refer back to your schema markup after you've implemented it. If there's anything down the road that needs to be fixed or adjusted, you'll be able to easily see it. And that will be the best way to just make quick adjustments.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a easy one. Just save all the coding and language on a Google Doc somewhere, because you may not do schema again for another year or so, and then you're going to have to jog your memory of like, wait, how did this work? Or maybe you'll have a developer on your site. It's like, hey, what's all this schema code about? And then you could reference that. So super helpful. But yeah, getting back to recommendations that you shared earlier, Jill, is have a developer implement schema. You could DIY it, but you put yourself at somewhat of risk, and you're not going to be sure if you really implement it correctly, which really leads us to our last slide. Anyone who is watching this and you need help either assessing schema, hey, what kind of schema do I have on my site, and do a gap analysis of what type of schema can I place on my site, we can do that assessment for you. We can also help implement based off of, depending on what platform you're on. If you're on WordPress, absolutely. But feel free to contact us, risemkg.com.